the job of a hair makeup artist is to also be an artist, and the artist appellation works very well for makeup. Bombay is home, and when I travel around the country, I really love seeing different side of the country. Every part of the country is beautiful. Indian hair is one of the best hair that is there in the world, so there's no much to do except of taking care of of your hair with good.
From Priyanka Chopra to Sara Ali Khan, and share some interesting stories from that sphere.
They have always been super nice to me, always accepted me as an artist, and they always kind of listened to my opinions. Maybe once Ritik came to me, I was working with a female actor, and he told me, "Hey, you don't do hair for guy or what?" Hi, this is Florian, and you're watching me on midday.com.
Midday.com is today talking to Florian Hurel. His name sounds really sexy when we say it in French. Florian. I love it.
Thank you.
The moment I say it, the visual that I get is of flowy, beautiful hair and a face that is absolutely perfect for a golden ratio. He is someone who has made some of the topmost Bollywood stylists look amazingly beautiful. We are going to talk to him about his business in India and about his Gujarati wife too.
Nice.
Welcome to Midday.
Did you walk this induction before coming?
No.
That was really nice. So, thanks a lot for putting these kind words across. It's really sweet of you.
That's what you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So first things first. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. That's what John Keats said.
That's right.
What led you to seeing aesthetics and creating, beauty by your hands? What happened? Why hair and makeup?
I think, it's a question that comes often to me, and people are asking me, how did you and how would you think, back in the days, on how do you want to become a hairstylist and come so far from France to India?
Yeah.
I think, it was somewhere written, it was somewhere there.
Destined.
Yeah, I think destiny, at the age of 13 and a half, 14, I already knew that I wanted to become a hair makeup artist. Back in France, the process of becoming a hair makeup artist is way different than in India. We have to be licensed, 2 years of a first license, then another 2 years, and another 2 years, so a total of 6 years of graduation license to the government in order to be able to work with clients. So you need to know exactly what do you want to do, post school. And I knew what I wanted to do, and more than being a hair makeup artist, I was passionate about making one and the other look nice and confident about their look. So this is where it came from, the wanting of become a hair makeup artist.
Do you think that this profession is an art? I see you as an artist.
There is a big part of being an artist, but there is also a big part of skills and learning before anything. We always put the arts secondary in the learning phase. I think the learning phase
is all about skills.
I think
skill development.
At the beginning it's all about knowledge, about skills, and then comes the touches of the artist, which kind of sign the looks, or the looks is always a bit identified by an artist. So I think it's exactly like a painting, or it's like, any form of art.
Faces are your canvases.
Yeah, I do believe that, an art has an identity, so every art gets its own signature. So yes, I think the job of a hair makeup artist is to also be an artist, and the artist appellation works very well for makeup and hair segments. Yeah, I do believe so.
When you decided to come into this profession, what was the response of your family? How did they support you?
See, in France, our parents are way more open to these professions. I had a little bit of a pushback because I was into sports. So I think my family thought that I will decide to become maybe education trainer, or more into coaching others, which I also do, because I do own a gym, right, in Bandra, and a multifunctional gym, which is doing very well. So that was one thing. I think there were a little bit of a pushback, but not major to stop me doing the job of a hair makeup artist, you know? Yeah, I mean, I will say it wasn't so easy, but it wasn't too difficult at the same
Wasn't
time.
that difficult as
Yes.
maybe maybe an Indian household it could be.
Maybe I think it's changing now.
Of
I
course,
think
it is changing.
it's
At least, especially in metros, for sure, it's
it's
changing.
getting better, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking Bombay aside, I think people are accepting the job way better than it was 10 years back when I came in India, you know.
True.
10 years back in India, being a hair makeup artist in different cities than Bombay will be
Could have
something a
been
little
difficult.
difficult. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Do you think you have some past life connection with India? Why
I
India?
do, I do think that there is something about India that is really calling me
Draws you.
and wants me to call it home, you know. I do believe that I have a certain connection with the country itself because I do feel good here. I do establish now myself here, and I do believe that I'm made here now. You know, it's like I don't see my life being away from India, even though sometime I will want to step out and spend some time back in France for my family and holiday. But I feel happy to be back in India. You know, when I'm on the way back, I do feel like Bombay is home, and when I travel around the country, I really love seeing different side of the country. You know, every part of the country is beautiful.
We do know why did Vasco da Gama come to India, but what led you to choose India?
I
And
didn't
how easy and difficult it was?
see.
Was it a situation which can be, maybe described with the word serendipity? What happened?
No, no, there were nothing about the cinema, or there were nothing about you know. It's just happened via the mentor that I had in France. He's used to come in
Yeah.
India since 1988, 1998, sorry.
90. Okay.
And he's told me, I think you should go there because you are looking for new challenges. You are wanting to kind of, you know, grow your skill and, you know, pass on the skill, teach people and, you know, walk into advertising. So you should go there because it's a really strong emerging country. And I think you do have something to do there. So I picked up the challenge and I decided to come through a brand and establish myself in India. So this is the way it happened, actually.
And how easy or difficult it was. And it's not just that you own this one thing, you are also running your fabulous gym in Bandra, your entrepreneurial tendencies, and how you made all this possible. How easy or difficult it was?
No, see, if you have a good team, then things are easier, you know, like working with others, I think is one of my major quality, which is like being able to empower, being able to give others mission to grow themselves through the platform that I give them. And the people that are here today, they are, some of them are with me since the beginning, you know.
Wow.
So I do think that empowering others and trusting others makes a lot of difference in one's business, you know. So that's the way I've grown so much. Beside, yeah, of course, the salon, the gym, but I also work on a daily basis with actors, you know, or
Yeah,
actors, you know.
that's where I was going to ask.
So there are multiple platforms happening at the same time, multiple work happening at the same time. Today I have a team in Jaipur. There are 20 hair makeup artists on a Netflix project.
Wow.
Then we have a team in Bandra working beside me being here, and so goes on, you know. And this will not happen if we didn't have responsible HODs or responsible managers, and of course staff. You know, like it's
Yeah.
very important to
To
trust
get
and
good
to.
people,
I mean,
good
see,
team.
people, good or bad, will come around. You know, that's, we are not deciding of that. What we decide is to keep the one that are wanting to work with you. So that's the, I think that's the thing that we are trying to develop here.
That's an important lesson for leaders, I think.
I think acceptance, you know, like you need to be able to accept that there will be good and there will be bad moment as well, and you need to empower yourself through the bads in order to have better goods. And this is the way I kind of work with the team. Yes.
Beautifully put, I must say.
Thank you.
That's so.
Thank you.
I think it's a learning lesson for anyone who wants to do something good, and who wants to work with teams. Let's talk about film industry. How did Bollywood happen to you?
It just happened through a client. I used to do my work in Kemp's Corner back in the days when I came in Bombay, and the client of mine just said that you have nothing to do in a beauty salon. Come with me. I'm a script writing agency.
Okay.
I write script for the advertising. No, not for film, for
Oh,
advertising.
okay.
And somewhat we came to talk, and I used to tell her, yeah, I used to do advertising back in France, and I miss shooting also. She told me, come with me, I will introduce you to some brands, and this is where I started working with brands. And from there, it took me to an actor, to another actor. The actor started calling me post advertising to their personal work, appearances, red carpets, and this is where I kind of established my name in the cinema industry.
And you have worked with some of the topmost female leads of the
Yes.
film industry. I mean, from Priyanka Chopra to Sara Ali Khan, and shared some interesting stories from that sphere.
I think the most interesting stories is that they have always been super nice to me, always accepted me as an artist, and they always kind of listen to my opinions. And we have created numbers of look together where they weren't agreeing on maybe my points, and I weren't agreeing on their text, but we always found a middle ground, and we always kind of respect each other, and created some of the best look with them, so that's interesting, that's very interesting.
And what does this think about you working only with the female leads?
That's a very tricky question.
I think there is more. The playground is bigger, I think.
No, it's just that my background has always been oriented to ladies' hair makeup. I don't know somewhat. I'm not really feeling the wanting to go on the other side and work with the male actors. It's just a pure artist.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's a
understand.
pure independent way wanting to work towards that side more than the other side. But nothing against it. Like if I
Anything
had,
can happen.
yeah, and somewhere I've never got requested much. Like
Okay.
I remember maybe once Ritik came to me. I was working with a female actor, and she told me, "Hey, you don't do hair for guy or what?" So I just told him, "Oh, yeah, I do, but I don't know." So he just, like he didn't
That's cute.
pick on it. But yeah, I don't think for now, not sure.
What's next for you? Are you looking at
Expanding.
bigger cities, smaller cities? What is it that you're looking at?
See, I like to take things a little slowly, but making sure that whatever I do remains as quality as the name, because the challenge is also to use your name and create a business beside what you have been doing as an artist.
True.
So I think we are taking it a little slowly in order to expand wisely, So first is Walkeshwar. That was a purely strategic way of
Obviously.
starting. And then we will move to maybe Bandra in Bombay, and then take
Other
the
cities.
project to other cities. Because a project like this one requires a lot of good, people working for you and be with you. So that's the way we will expand, yes.
Fabulous. Now let's talk about your Gujarati wife. What happened?
Everything happened. I'm always a bit shy to talk about us, and always a bit like reserved. I keep it very.
Private.
I keep it very private. We
Yeah.
don't like to be so exposed, and we are not that, couple to be exposing each other too much on medias and all. But
I've seen some wonderful pictures of your shadi. So
yes,
you don't
yes.
say that.
So that's
today. I
one
mean,
thing.
It's there.
I think that
a
was.
lovely Gujarati girl.
Yeah, she's lovely. She's really supportive, and she really pushes me to do what I like the most, So that's the biggest support, I think if you have a good, we always say that I think a good businessman will not be a good businessman without a good wife, So I do believe that she's there to really make the best out of me, So, and we have definitely a great combination and great symbiosis. Become. She has also a very artistic background, so we understand each other a lot from those points.
From those points. What is the most gujju thing that you have done till now? Have you played Garba?
I mean, the most Guju will be to be in Gujarat and eat Gujarati food and be with my in-laws and be with them. That's the most Guju things I will have done. And of course, eat Gujaratis and
Thepla and
yes, of
Gathia and
course, I
everything.
love it.
So she's from Mumbai or she's from, I
No,
mean, her
no,
parents are in Gujarat.
yeah, she's from Gujarat.
Gujarat where? I'm very curious, sorry.
She's from a small town, Karjat,
Oh,
Karpat,
fabulous.
which is next
Yeah.
to Diu.
That's lovely. And Gujaratis are also very entrepreneurial. So I think,
I think she has it as well, She has it through me. I think she knows now that I might be more Gujarati than her.
that's why
Somewhere.
I said,
Yes.
what is the
She-
most Guju? I
She's
mean,
made me a Gujarati, I think, business wise.
what is that one Guju word that you hear very often when she talks to you?
Just like, how are you, like, Kemsho, like that.
That's the
That's
basic.
that's the easiest thing that I kind of throw there, like, how are you, Kemsho.
For the in-laws side, the word that we use is sasaria.
Yeah, this I haven't
So
learned this much.
sasru is in the in-laws
In
house.
in-laws,
So
yes.
to please your sasaria, what you say is kemcho. And
Yes, that's what I
you
do.
win the hearts.
Yeah, mostly it works very well. Oh, Hindi also is
Yeah.
helping me a lot to kind of communicate. Yes.
What are the very French things that you don't do anymore? Because you are so Guju
I think
and obviously an Indian.
like sitting at a coffee shop and just have your coffee on the terrace. This is what we are missing, I think, in Bombay,
Yeah.
The weather, the pollution. There are so many factors that are not helping us to do this. But this is a very French way of
Yeah.
taking a break for 15 minutes and just have a coffee on the terrace. That's one thing. Or walking peacefully the street, without bothering about the
Banging
traffic.
into people.
The traffic more, yeah.
And traffic,
Yeah,
yes,
traffic.
of course. Paris is extremely, I mean, France, all the cities are very walkable.
Yeah, it's
right?
easy to walk
Pedestrian
around, yeah.
friendly.
So that's the first thing I do when I land back in Paris.
Walk.
We walk the cities, yeah, for like 10, 15 kilometers a day.
The things that you think are very important for any Indian when it comes to taking care of their hair.
The basic is to really wash, condition your hair. That's something that everyone should be doing at least twice a week, to wash, condition, and eventually, do some nice spas, hair spas. That's very interesting. But, Indian hair is one of the best hair that is there in the world. So there's no much to do except of taking care of, of your hair with good products,
What is your take on champi, which is a very Indian thing, oiling your hair?
I think there are two sides to it. If I get to the professional, really deep professional side, oiling isn't that great for the scalp because
True.
it suffocates the follicles, and the follicles have the tendency to,
Yeah.
fall, and then this is where you get hair falls.
Hair fall.
But if you oil your hair and not the scalp, then it's a good thing, like
Really?
it's just helps on nourishing your hair.
Okay.
But yeah, avoid always oiling the scalp for a long time, like to keep the oil on the scalp
Yeah.
isn't that great. I feel it's kind of suffocates the pores and creates a little bit of impurity. So I don't believe in oiling the scalp, but yeah, the hair, why not?
Let's talk about Indian skin tone. Very interesting, so
Yes.
many shades. And how does it push you to be more creative about it? And what is that skin tone that you really find tempting to work upon?
See, I think I'm fortunate to really work with every type of skin tone, and Indian skin has a lot of warmth,
Yeah.
a lot of yellow, a lot of warmth. So I think as an artist, as an international artist, when you respect the fact that a beauty has warmth within her skin, then you are kind of understanding everything else, because you won't try to do anything else than just keeping it very natural and keeping it to the tone of the lady. So this is one of the rules that I believe in, which is like not changing
Not changing it
the
completely.
tone of
the skin.
of anyone's skin. Yes.
Indian face cuts,
Yes.
Yeah. Full, round, this, that, those. Which are the hairstyles which usually look really good on Indian faces? Or it depends on the shape of the face?
That's a very tricky question because everyone have got different faces shape, and according to the shape of the face, we can kind of place
Frame the
we can
hair.
place line and volume. We call it like this. So
Yeah.
placing line and volume, it's what will either enhance or open the face more, or shut a bit the face. So I don't think that one haircut or one hairstyle will go on everyone's
Of course
faces,
not.
This is why also it's one of the thing I could tell you is that why we came up with couture, hair couture,
Yeah.
because the word couture in design means one style.
One
It's
style. Yeah, exactly.
So that one style should be one style for each individuals, and that's why we call it couture.
Yeah,
From
I
the
was
beginning.
actually going to ask you about that. So that's a very interesting answer. Like individuality is something that
Yeah, I don't believe. See, I've been trained that way, and I've learned always that way. That's why an individual will never look the same as another individual. And I do believe that an individual own their own personalities and their own moods and their own emotions. And according to that, then us as hairstylists, makeup artists, we should be able to kind of paste or stick different kind of volume and shapes and colors, of course.
of course.
So that's the way I kind of function on everything else that I do in the beauty industry. This is why hair couture.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course, there are a lot of haircuts and hairstyles and makeup styles of like highlighters and bronze makeup and
Yes,
this
yes.
and that. Tell me three styles that you love. On I
Yeah.
mean with hair or with face.
For
You
me,
have to
the
tell
for me the
each.
less is always more. I love keeping natural skin. I love just enhancing someone's beauty. I'm fortunate to really work with only pretty ladies, so it's always easy to kind of enhance one part of their face or keep the natural hair and just enhance the natural texture of the hair, or just taking it up without over processing any steps of what I do through my job. So this is the major way that I like to work, to keep it always very, very natural and always very sign, as one's personality,
Yeah. So you are not someone who would, if someone comes through and say, "Oh, this is a trend, I want to do it." You're like,
No,
"No,
it's
let
very
me
bad for
make
me.
you the trend." I think that's
I
what you
think my
do.
my learning background comes from that only, to
Yeah.
study one personality, and from that personality to be able to talk a certain language and adjust it to the beauty industry. So we do take inspiration, and as an artist, I also take inspiration from the West, from the East,
Of course.
from the South, from everywhere, But I don't believe that taking a look and pasting it on
On
someone
someone else.
makes any charm to the job. I do believe that once you know a personality, once you know someone's character and liking and disliking, then only you can kind of walk a look as per their personality. And this is where I think we are able to make the difference between all these artists out there. There are so many hair makeup artists, right? And to do the job well, I do believe as a coach or as maybe a senior now, that one artist should be understanding that this lady has her own personality. From that point, I think the job just become easier.
Easier. True.
It's come from the artist. The artist needs to know their job very well to be able to exceed, and to become better and better, and to understand their client way better. And I think my strength is that I've learned that at the youngest age. I was, among some of the best hair makeup artists worldwide, and they told me that until unless you don't know this simple rule of being able to study a personality, you will never be able to be a good hair makeup artist. So there are way of talking, there are way of adjusting your language to a personality. There are words that you may like more than someone else will like. You may like more the nature, or you may like warmer tone, and some people like cooler tone. And this is why maybe you are more friend with some others and not with others. It's because there are common points, and
it's always about the vibes and
exactly,
the personality.
and that's what's makes you a personality, like on your own,
Yeah.
And once you accept that as a person, then you will know better what products and what hairstyle, what color, what could work the best for you.
Okay, so on this note, I'll let you go. But before, do you think my hair and makeup suits my personality?
Of course,
Or I need
of course,
some
you're doing
changes?
well. You're doing well. We can definitely do some changes.
Ooh.
There are always segment that we can explore. But yes, of course.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you.
lovely talking to you.
Same here. Thank you. Very delighted. Thank you.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.